it's Finovation. So recently I've been pretty into mechanical keyboards, and so have my friends. My friend got a mechanical keyboard, and it needs to be modded, so the obvious question is...
Are you gonna help him mod it?
Yes, I am. I'm going to be modding the epomaker SK64 in this video. Let's get right into it. Now, before I get too far into the video, here's a sound test of it, completely stock, no mods done.
Alright, so this is gonna be a stock sound test.
Now, that's not great, but it is an okay starting point. So the first thing we've got to do is take the keycaps off of the board. If you don't know what those are, they're the little plastic parts that are on top of the switches. So we've got to take those out, then we got to take the switches out, maybe put some foam, grease the switches, stuff like that. But let's take the keycaps out. Now the inside of this keyboard does look a little bit gross, but he does have a few pets, so I won't hold a grudge. Either way, let's clean it out with some canned air. Now that the board is cleaned, we've got to take out all the switches and figure out what's in there.
Alright, so this is the inside of the case, and as you can see, it is pretty hollow. But what we're gonna do to fix that is add some foam. So I just grabbed some regular old foam and cut some screw holes in it, and now it should sound a lot less hollow.
Now, after taking out the circuit board and the switches, I found out that the case is pretty hollow. So I'm going to be using some foam to fill it up and kind of dampen the sound. What foam does is it dampens the sound, makes the board sound less like metallic-y and clacky, and makes kind of more of a deep sound and a little bit more muted. So he didn't really like that his keyboard was as loud, so, that's what we'll be fixing. Another mod I'm going to do is called the tape mod. Now what this is, it's where you put some masking tape or painter's tape on the bottom of the circuit board or PCB, and you just put tape on it pretty much. Then when you put the board back together, it sounds a little bit more kind of poppy. It, again, kind of mutes the sound a little bit, but it kind of like reflects it off of the case, so it doesn't echo kind of as much, and it just makes the board sound a little bit nicer. Some people like to use the word thocky. So we're going to do that. Now that that's done, it's time to do the stabilizers. So what these are the things that kind of hold up the space bar, backspace, shift, any bigger keys. Now, to do the stabilizers, all you have to do is apply a bit of grease to them. So I used some dielectric grease and some Krytox 205G0. I also wholly modded them. You can look up tutorials online to figure out how to do all that. But either way, I'm pretty happy with the way they turned out. It does take a while. Here's how they sound. Now, any rattle that you still might hear on the spacebar could be that it's not screwed in yet, so there's that. Well, either way, now it's time to grease the switches. So to do that, I'm going to be using some Krytox 205G0, and the switches he has in the board came with the epomaker SK64, and they're the Gateron optical yellows. Now, an optical switch actually uses lasers, which is pretty neat. So what that means is there's like two sensors, and one shoots out a laser beam that goes across, and when the switch presses down, that laser beam is broken, and a switch click is detected. Now all we have to do is put the board back together. Let's get right into it.
So I put the first couple switches in, but I'm gonna get a little tired, so I'm gonna use a little bit of magic. Alright, it's done. Now all that's left to do is do some keycaps. There we go, the board is back together and it looks, well, pretty much the same. But now it is time for a sound test.
Now, before the final sound test, I do think my friend was pretty happy about it, and I was happy to do it. I think it was a lot of fun to do with him. But either way, I enjoyed doing it. So, without further ado, let's get into the sound test.
Nice.
Well, I'm glad he likes it, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think all the keys sounded great, even the shifts.
Shifts? That reminds me of a joke.
Oh boy.
Why is a keyboard always tired?
I don't know, why?
Because it has to work 2 shifts, right and left.
That was terrible. Whatever, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!